Hi, so I want to do a video on mysteries and investigations, mainly because I think I do it a little bit different than most people. I know the current, um, I guess, gold standard is the Alexandrian's three clue rule, but I don't necessarily do anything like that. Um, Basically, to kind of summarize what um, my style is. It's very improv heavy, as is most of my style. I'm sure you'll come to realize that. So the the main crux is I always have a conclusion I want the players to come to, right? So if we look back at the NPC video and we look at Yanes, um, Yanes' conclusion was that he was a vampire, right? And originally his mannerism was only always sweaty. Um, and the reason it became always sweaty during the day was because one of my players met him at night, and I was like, "Oh, he's not sweaty at night." So um, that kind of just came to me as we were playing, and that was one of the hints towards the conclusion that just kind of came off the cuff because it just makes sense that that is true. Um, So other ones, if people were really paying attention, if you follow him around, he might try to sneak a drink of someone uh, he comes across, right? If you go into his room, he'll have a coffin there, right? Just vampire things. And I guess it kind of requires you to have um, kind of a intrinsic knowledge of the tropes, right? Like if he was a werewolf, if you looked in his garbage, you would see his torn clothes, right? If you went to his basement, you would see chains in his basement from when he locks himself up. Um, but these are very small and contained mysteries, right? That's basically those are person focused. But I also use this method for overarching um, mysteries that might go an entire campaign. And I think this is where this kind of excels because once you make the conclusion, you don't really need to worry about it. You just need to remind yourself that the conclusion exists before every session. And you can kind of hint at it whenever it seems relevant, whenever the players press. Because this method really rewards player curiosity. Um, and if they're kind of picking up stones and looking under them, they're going to come across your conclusion, right? Uh, so the conclusion of the last campaign was the red one, whose symbol is an unlit red candle, um, made a church around Mahone, which is a person which was the person that killed him, and he did this in order to slowly gain his power back. And um, basically, the Church of Mahone, their symbols are like the white lit candle. All right, so sorry about that. The crux of the conclusion is basically like Mahone is technically a fake god, and he's siphoning uh, the worship away. So kind of go into how this was shown throughout the campaign. Um, uh, During near the start of the campaign, um, they kind of got into a contract with kind of a follower of Mahone named Victor, and Victor is actually secretly the Red One, um, and he basically sets them off on this religious quest on behalf of the Church of Mahone, right? And it's about like killing a bunch of uh, the other people who are in the ritual to kind of like kill all these kind of like monsters, I guess. And all these like monsters were originally people that had been taking part in the trials and killing each other and mutating as a result, right? I think because they saw a picture of all the people in the ritual at the start, and one of the players was like, I don't think these guys don't look like the good guys. And he was right. But he ended up going into the ritual, and he became kind of the player that engaged with this mystery the most. And I reminded him at the end of the campaign after he figured out the mystery. I was like, "Oh yeah, remember in the first session when you said none of these guys look like the good guys?" And he laughed because he completely forgot that he even said that. So other ways I kind of hinted towards this conclusion. They at one point they went underground, and they noticed that there used to be this civilization underground that they had no knowledge of. And this like after they like read the Bible, they noticed that like the prehistoric humans used to live underground because of the red one, right? And down here they actually found Mahone's home, and he was just like a normal person that lived back in the day. So they kind of had a hint that like he wasn't this like real god. He was just a normal person. And that kind of fed into the later stuff. They had this sword that had the spirit of Mahone in stasis. And when they kind of looked at his spirit, he had none of the things associated with the religion. Because I showed a picture like I do with the NPCs, and he just looked like a normal warrior. Also, they had an abstract dream of two candles, a white one and a red one. As the birds flocked towards the red candle, they both grew. And that was a pretty big hint. I forget why the dream sequence came up. I believe they were communing with spirits or something like that. It was a very spirit-heavy campaign because the kingdom they came from was like druidic and shamanistic focused. And another one was there was this ritual that Peyton Marlowe was doing, and there were all these candles kind of scattered about that kind of fed towards his ritual. And as they kind of destroyed the candles, they turned white. And I forgot to mention, I think I'm not sure if I did, Victor, the person from the start of the campaign, was a white candle. Like he was like the character from Beauty and the Beast, the candle character. That's kind of what he looked like, but he was more like armored and had a sword and stuff. But yeah, so they had all these hints, and eventually they figured it out. But just basically before they had to go confront Victor, because originally they were going to go ask him for help, and then they're like, wait a minute, we don't, like, this guy that seems not great based on what we've been learning over the course of the campaign. And the kind of the mystery came to a conclusion right before they went to go fight him, and I was like, it just worked like magic. So I thought I would share my method because since it works so well, see if anyone else can get some use out of it. I'm gonna try it again in my next campaign and see if it's as good the second time. But yeah, that's basically how I do it. You make a statement. It can be super abstract, right? Like the red one made a church around Mahone, the person that killed him, in order to slowly gain his power back. Like, it's not something you can just kind of instantly figure out. without doing a lot of yeah, without actually digging into it. So I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please subscribe if you haven't, and leave comments. Let me know if you have any input on this style of mystery design. I'd be happy to talk about it. If you want any clarifying statements on anything I talked about, I'd be happy to do that. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.